We hear a lot of sounds around us all the time. It is the ability of our ear that we can detect sound waves of certain range of frequencies. But what are sound waves and how do they reach our ears? Sound waves are mechanical vibrations of pressure in a medium like air or water. By the term mechanical, we mean that sound waves require a medium to propagate. They cannot travel through vacuum. When vibrations of the medium particles are along the direction of the sound wave propagation, they are called longitudinal waves. Sound waves are longitudinal in nature. Sound waves can be produced by any kind of vibration. For example, a drum produces sound via its vibrating membrane. Let us now see how do these waves travel in air. Let us assume that there is a source in contact with air molecules that make up the medium. When the source vibrates, a sound wave is produced. Actually, when the source vibrates, the air molecules in contact with the vibrating surface also vibrate with the same frequency. This leads to change in density of air, say by delta rho. Using Boyle's law, we can say that change in density is proportional to change in pressure. Thus, the change in density induces change in pressure delta P. This is a disturbance. Since pressure is force per unit area, a restoring force proportional to this disturbance is set up. Restoring force is a force that directs an object back to its stable equilibrium. This is similar to the restoring force that sets a spring back to its original position when it is elongated. In this case, extension or compression of spring is similar to the change in density. Due to this force, the air in the first region undergoes rarefaction. If a region is comparatively rarefied, the surrounding air will rush in, making the rarefaction move to the adjoining region. Thus, the compression and rarefaction moves from one region to another, making the sound wave propagate in air. Thus, the sound wave propagates in air and reaches our ears. Sound travels in other media with the same mechanism. We just saw how sound waves travel in the form of compressions and rarefactions of small elements in air. Now, can you expect on what parameters would the speed of sound depend? The speed of sound waves depends on the elastic properties of the medium. The speed of sound wave in liquids or gases is given by V is equal to under root of K by rho, where K is the bulk modulus of the medium and rho is its density. Bulk modulus is a measure of medium's resistance to uniform compression. Sir Isaac Newton assumed that when sound travels in a gaseous medium, the changes taking place in the medium are isothermal in nature. This means that the heating or cooling produced due to compression and rarefaction of the medium respectively is conducted to the surrounding medium also. Thus, K in the equation represents isothermal bulk modulus of gas. We know that K is given by change in pressure divided by change in volume by the original volume. Thus, the isothermal bulk modulus is given by minus dP divided by dV by V. Negative sign indicates that when pressure increases, volume decreases. The equation of state for isothermal change is PV is equal to a constant. Differentiating on both the sides, we get P dV plus V dP is equal to 0, or P dV is equal to minus V dP. So, we get P is equal to minus dP divided by dV by V. This is same as isothermal bulk modulus. This implies that speed of sound in a medium is now given by under root of P by rho. This is known as the Newton's formula for speed of sound. At NTP, pressure is equal to 1 atmosphere and density of air is 1.293 kg per meter cube. Using these values in the Newton's formula, the speed of sound in air comes out to be 280 meters per second. However, from experiments, the speed of sound in air at NTP was estimated to be 332 meters per second. This large difference in the two values raised questions on the Newton's formula. Laplace, a French mathematician and astronomer, pointed out that Newton's assumption that the pressure changes in gas as the sound wave travels are isothermal was incorrect. According to him, as air is a bad conductor of heat, equalization of temperature on rapid pressure changes was improbable. Thus, he assumed the pressure-volume changes in the gas to be adiabatic in nature. Therefore, the bulk modulus in the formula is now adiabatic bulk modulus. The equation of state for adiabatic change is PV to the power gamma is a constant. Here, gamma is the ratio of specific heats. Similarly, differentiating both the sides, we get gamma P dV plus V dP is 0, or K adiabatic is equal to gamma times P. Substituting in the formula, we get the speed of sound is under root of gamma P by rho. For air, the value of gamma is 1.41. Therefore, the speed of sound in air at NTP will be 332 meters per second. Laplace was subsequently able to obtain agreement between theory and experiment by using this equation. Thus, this is the corrected formula for speed of sound in gases. In-depth knowledge of sound waves empowers us to develop various applications of it. Can you think of them? We know that the speed of sound in air at room temperature is about 332 meters per second, which is approximately 1,200 kilometers per hour. This is much greater than the fastest car. That is why horn of a car reaches much before the car reaches. If the speed of an object exceeds the speed of sound in that medium, then it is said to be moving with a supersonic speed. Most modern fighter aircrafts are supersonic. The image shows a US Navy aircraft approaching the speed of sound. This white halo is formed by condensed water droplets resulting from a shock wave from the aircraft as its speed comes closer to the speed of sound. There is thunderous noise produced when an object moves with a supersonic speed. This is known as sonic boom. An aircraft traveling through atmosphere continuously produces air pressure waves. When the aircraft exceeds the speed of sound, eventually these pressure waves combine and form a single shock wave. This produces an explosive sound called the sonic boom. We know that a sound wave composed of frequencies which lie within the range of 20 to 20 kHz is audible to human ear. Sound with frequencies below 20 Hz is infrasound, while the sound with frequency higher than 20 kHz is called ultrasound. Organisms such as bats use ultrasound to navigate their path in the darkness and locate their prey. Ultrasound has a lot of application in various fields. Application of ultrasound is referred to as ultrasonics. Ultrasonic imaging is used in the field of medicine extensively. It uses the technique of reflection of ultrasound by the human body parts to create images for medical diagnosis. Ultrasound is used in the non-destructive testing of products and structures also. It is used to detect the surface cracks which are not visible through naked eyes without causing any damage to the material in this technique. Ultrasound is also used in underwater range-finding technique, also known as sonar. In this, an ultrasonic pulse is generated in a particular direction. If there is an object in the path of this pulse, part or all of the pulse will be reflected back and can be detected. By measuring the difference in time between the pulse being transmitted and the echo being received, it is possible to determine the distance. Another application to ultrasound is ultrasonic cleaners. Ultrasonic cleaners is a device that uses ultrasound and an appropriate cleaning solvent to clean delicate items like lenses, jewelry, watches, dental instruments, etc. There are many more such applications of ultrasound which comprises of an entire realm called the ultrasonics.